Today's game, live from sunny Northern California in Oakland. The Michigan Panthers, the defending champions of the USFL, on hard times against the Oakland Invaders, who have turned their entire season around. Maybe not enough. In the race for the playoffs in the Western Division, Houston has already clinched a spot and could this weekend clinch the title, and that is expansion team. Los Angeles is in there. Michigan right with Los Angeles, but a tough road to hoe. And Oakland 6-9, but how they have turned things around. Safety. For those of you who haven't begun to play, there's only the rest of this month. Just listen for the code words that we announce during each USFL game. Jot both words on a postcard. Send them along to ESPN Sweepstakes, Post Office Box 1000, Kensington, Maryland 20895. Big prizes, including a car. So join the watch and win sweepstakes. First down, and straight ahead goes Tom Newton, the fullback, who played all those years with the Jets and gets from the 20 to the 25-yard line. And Carlton Rose makes the stop. He who is replacing John Corker.
Little tussle downfield with Gordon Banks, the wide receiver, working on Oliver Davis, the defensive cornerback. The official had to step in and break it up, and Gordon Banks, not very big at 172 pounds, but they say he's one of the best wide receiver blockers in the league.
Second down, a little more than 5. And here's Jordan. 4.4 speed, but not much there. Gets out to 3rd and a yard.
Oakland pretty much of an inside running team, as is Michigan. Tackle to tackle type of an attack. That time over the offensive left guard, Jim Leonard, to knock out a couple of yards.
That is Eric Jordan. 3rd and short. Newton, the fullback. Newton's got the first down. Flag goes down. Could be holding. And it would be 3rd down and 11 if that is the case. Let's see what happens.
Good running by Newton right there. There wasn't anything at the point of attack off the right side.
Someone held him off the side. That's why.
Exactly. Opened up a nice hole for him to veer back to.
You can do that
if you don't get caught.
And they got caught. So it's going to be holding penalty call by Dave Kamansky, and he'll step off the 10 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 11 from the 19-yard line. Let's see who did it.
Offensive holding, number 56.
That's Roger Lavasa, second-year man out of Oregon State.
Roger Lavasa, the center, coming right at you, number 56, working on 65. Dave Tipton. You see him get that left arm around there and the right arm in a little lock, and then finally a takedown to open it up for Newton.
3rd down. And Bassano. Nope. Has to hold on to it. Kyle Borland is there, and Bassano dragged it in. And now Stan Talley will have to kick yet again into the wind. He didn't do that well last time.
Good thing Bassano did pull that ball down, because they almost knocked it loose from behind. Would have been a fumble.
That is his 50th sack. We talked about that because Bassano will take a sack. He didn't take that. He was simply tackled. But 12 of the 49 before today were in the very first game. Lately, Bassano has not been sacked hardly at all.
Well,
again, Walter Broughton is deep, and Stan Talley to kick the ball away.
They had that blitz coming too there, Jim, and as Ray Bentley said, they were going to try and get after Bassano, and it worked that time.
Remember, as he gets a low snap, he's kicking into the wind. Again, Broughton is going to have an excellent chance. Oh, he's got to pick up the ball first, and does. And gets back to midfield and then the 49-yard line. So again, Michigan will be in the territory of the Oakland Invaders. A year ago, talk of him going to the NFL, and look, 22 interceptions, may need arthroscopic surgery, probably will play backup for the rest of this year, although he could play, and what a difference a year makes. No score. First down from the Invader 49 for the Michigan Panthers. With Taylor still with the ball. Taylor across the middle. There's Cobb. Yet another catch, and Cobb is inside the 15 and run out of bounds by Kenny Daniel. And Cobb has now caught a ball in every single Michigan Panther game in history.
Excellent play right here. Little roll draw action by Whit Taylor as he'll fake to the back, cutting across in front of him. A hand fake right there, holds the interior. Jeff Wiska, the right guard, moves out in front. Cobb down and out to the outside, wide open. 51 there chasing him. Can't quite get to him, but a big play as far as Michigan is concerned with, and that's what you got to get points on the boards.
A 37-yard big play. Check that 36-yard big play. First down from the 13. Taylor on the handoff. And getting down close is John Williams, still playing on that bad ankle. Number 40 and number 40, Marcus Quinn, the strong safety, made the stop. Second and short.
Good job coming off that left side. Tyrone McGriff, the left guard. Right there you see the block out in front of it, and then coming through John Williams, number 40, with the lead block by Lacey.
Don, here's John Williams with that ankle, and McGriff in front of him has got Achilles problems.
Both of them with bad wheels.
Second and about a yard to go for the first down. From the 5 and down to about the 2, but picking up the first down is Ken Lacey. Michigan looking to score first with 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. There is no score, and now we see Chris Lennon, number 70, coming in on the goal line stand, and they'll take out Derek Martin, a cornerback. 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 3 defensive backs.
They'll pinch them in tight in their goal line defense, hit all the inside gaps, go down low, try and get the offensive line surge nullified.
First and goal to go. Lacey gets nowhere. And you can see there Dave Browning with his second big play of the game. Out of the second down and goal to go.
That was a big play by Dave Browning. He just took a hard inside move, got excellent penetration to make the play. Ground level look. You'll see Browning come into the picture from the right side. Bang, right there. Gets an arm around him. Down he goes. Little loss.
Came right over Tony Osmond, is starting the left tackle spot today because Chris Godfrey is out.
Normally a backup right tackle.
Second down. They're going to try it with Williams this time, and he gets just shy of the first down. A lot of folks are there, but I think you'll find number 51, Gary Plummer, getting underneath. And then you can see, oh, there he is again, Frank Maliuna. And it's third down and short.
You know what's kind of interesting right here is Ray Pinney, the veteran 9-year tackle on the right side. You would think they'd be more inclined to go over that right side than going to the left, with Osmond having moved into that spot, relatively new for him, and Tyrone McGriff hurting at the left guard, but they're pounding that left side.
From 1 yard out, third down. I formation for the first time. Eccles coming this way and diving for the end zone. And they're saying that he did not make it is John Williams, but let's see to the under-tangle. The Invaders are all excited, but they still have a fourth down coming up. Fourth down.
Nothing fancy with it. Just out of the I formation. Lead back up in front of it, trying to give a little bit extra help. And then up over the top, you see him leave the ground, John Williams, a little bit early. And as a result, once you get up in the air, you got no momentum. And a good job by the Invader defense.
Vujovich, who's having a great year, 18 of 24, ostensibly to kick a field goal of 18 yards. But remember, the quarterback is the holder. And he's going to kick the field goal, and it is going to be good. So a first down at the 3, and now a flag is down. Hold it.
I think we're going to get a roughing the kicker call.
Oh, if they do, that's first and goal to go. The Invaders are walking off the field, and now they're stopping. The Panthers are walking off the field, and the Invaders are clapping their hands as though everything is okay.
They ran into Novo just as he released the ball.
The defensive player was blocked into the kicker.
Okay.
The field goal was good.
Defensive player blocked into the kicker. First down at the 3, and they have to settle for an 18-yard field goal only. That's like shutting him out, as they say. Michigan leading 3-0, but obviously frustrated. First down at the 3 and could not take it in.
And 2 times they had that ball in excellent field position at midfield.
Otis Brown, Mark Lewis are deep. Novo Vujovich has gone through all of his antics way back near the goal line and is now out to kick off from 35. When I say antics, his warm-ups. Here's Otis Brown. If he can get the ball, he does at the 10. Across the 20. Bounces off a couple of tackles. He is strong and is finally put down. You can see Albert Bentley up top putting him down. And that is near the 30-yard line. 7 plays for 48 yards. Vujovich with his 19th field goal of the year. Makes it 3-0. Now Bassano and company, they have been right where you see them now at best all day, and sometimes back inside their own 20-yard line. They've never been past their own 30-yard line. Mark Lewis comes wide to the right. Gordon Banks has also caught a pass in every single Invader game, is wide to the left. Up to 29. Fake to Jordan. Throw out here and caught by Brian Williams, who had 8 catches last week against Jacksonville, and there's a big one now, and they're out at their own 49-yard line. Tom Moriarty, the strong safety, put him down.
Tom Moriarty also fell down as double coverage, a little play action fake. They got double coverage on the outside, so that means it's man for man right there. You see why Brian Williams is so wide open. Moriarty had slipped and came in late. Left side of the screen, you'll see him coming out of there. That's the tight end Williams.
4:41 to go, first quarter. Bassano still with the ball. Oh, he's got Newton coming out of the backfield. And Newton gets knocked out of bounds, and the Invaders for the first time have moved into Michigan territory at the 46. Kyle Borland took Newton out of bounds.
Well, that's exactly what Chuck Hutchinson had said has helped Fred Bassano. Not only the offensive line protection, but his reading of defenses and going to the right man. And in that instance, he had a linebacker isolated on a running back, and generally that's going to be a mismatch. 2 in a row that Bassano has picked out a one-on-one situation.
Hutchinson, former All-American, Ohio State, later played offensive tackle for both the Cardinals and Browns. Second down, and let's call it 6 instead of 5. Bassano, no fake there, laying it out there, and look who's there. Mark Lewis with only his 20th catch of the year. Absolutely no play action at all. Bassano just drifted to his left, his backs went to his right, and Lewis drifted down and caught the easy pass.
Good job by Bassano. 51 in there, blitzing. That's Carlton Rose on the inside. But Bassano lays it up. That ball really well thrown to the outside to Lewis, because as he had the corner beaten over on that side, Vito McKeever, he just let him run under it. And that's touch. Quarterback's got to develop that kind of ability if he wants to be accurate.
Now they put both Gordon Banks and Mark Lewis to the far side. First down from the 24. And here's a reverse coming to Eric Jordan. Jordan is back to the line of scrimmage and knocked out of bounds after getting a couple of yards only. And Carlton Rose again in there. Remember, Rose filling in for John Corker, number 57, who has a bad knee and a bad hand.
Well, Bassano with a little trickery, the old Statue of Liberty play. Ray Bentley, the inside linebacker. It looks like a pass as Bassano dropped back. The running back did a reverse pivot, came around. He gave him a behind-the-back handoff. Bentley reacting back to it as he gets some help from his teammates over there to make the play.
Second down, 8 to go. The ball at the 23-yard line. Again, Lewis and Banks are both to the left. And again, Bassano to throw, laying it out here for Jordan. Jordan's got the first down. Pushed out of bounds by Robert Pennywell. The ball is at the 12-yard line. And a lot of the fans want an unnecessary roughness penalty. I don't think one is in order.
Little play action fake, weak side slant. They've run it 2 or 3 times to set it up. Once again, Bassano off the back foot, but he lays it up over the top to Jordan, who working on the linebacker to that side. Kyle Borland has him clearly beat as Borland gives him an added touch at the end, and that was what the booing was about.
Now Lewis goes outside of Banks to the left. On first down, ball is up to 12. 3-0 Michigan, the Invaders driving. Tom Newton, submarine at the line of scrimmage. That, as a matter of fact, ran over Eric Jordan, who was trying to make a block there. By the way, in the USFL this year, you can revise the old movie. Here comes Mr. Jordan. Buford Jordan of New Orleans and Eric Jordan of Oakland, both rookies, both outstanding.
They really are outstanding. And of course, you mentioned earlier, Eric Jordan injured a week ago, didn't play with a bad ankle, but he's back, and they are very, very happy with his performance.
Second down and 10 from the 12. 3:45 to go. First quarter, 3-0 Michigan. Sana laying it up again for Brian Williams. Touchdown. 12-yard touchdown pass to Brian Williams.
Well, once again, Fred Basana, he's on a roll the past 4 or 5 weeks. You see him looking to the right side of your screen. Now he's coming all the way back to the right side. After going up top, he lays it over the top. He sees Brian Williams one-on-one with Kyle Borland, the defensive linebacker, and he is wide open, a perfect throw. Nothing to the left, back to the right. Again, touch over the top. The man chasing him way behind the play was number 52, the linebacker Borland, who was out of position.
Evan Shea at the side of the hole to attempt the extra point. That is perfect. So 3:35 to go. First quarter, sunny, pleasant, 68-degree Oakland, California. The Invaders lead the Panthers 90 yards, where their opposition had almost 380 yards. And you can see 24 points for the opposition plus and less than 10 for Oakland. And then let's change things around. The last 6 games of which they won every single one. They've averaged better than 307 yards, almost 308. Their opposition below 300. Rushing yards, they've got their opposition by about 45 yards, and they've got them in points by 7. That's how you can turn a season around.
That points by 7 is that key factor.
Butrell and Bentley are the deep man, and a very short kick by Kevin Shea. Albert Bentley out of the University of Miami, rookie, takes it over and is across the 20, and Bentley is shoved out of bounds at the 25. He is the man that scored the winning touchdown in the Orange Bowl New Year's night when Miami upset Nebraska. And now here comes Whit Taylor and company. They've not used Bentley in a running situation. They've used Terry Miller. They've used John Williams. Cleo Miller's been there for blocking purposes, and Ken Lacey. Anthony Carter out with a broken arm. I think you heard a couple of weeks ago, re-broke his arm in a family dispute. Well, he is really through for the year, apparently. Anthony Allen goes wide to the right, and Derek Holloway, one of the most dangerous men in the league, comes to the left. There's Taylor. Taylor going and slipping is Anthony Allen. The ball was thrown under him. When he took his turn, Don, it looked like he's going to turn in, and the ball was thrown out. In any event, it was too short by the time it got there.
Yeah, it appeared that between he and Whit Taylor, Anthony Allen, they didn't quite have their signals together there, because just as you described it, Taylor was anticipating the out move, Allen on the inside move. A lot of play action beforehand. Taylor, having to scramble around, did a full reverse pivot, wasn't totally under control when he got turned.
Michigan has lost 7 of its last 9, must win 2 out of 3 to make the playoffs, and they are the defending champions. That's Allen as we see motion for the first time from Michigan. Taylor swinging it out of the backfield and looking for somewhere to go, and there's not much place to go at all. It's Walter Broughton.
Good job of defense over there. They were not in the least bit surprised as Anthony Allen, coming across the backfield, as he hit the end of the line of scrimmage, he turned upfield and then came across shallow. They swung the back out of there in order to try and influence them with Allen's inside move, but they sat right there and waited for it.
A couple of extra defensive backs come in on 3rd down and 8 to go from the 27-yard line. Broughton out of the backfield as a 3rd wide receiver. Taylor's going to swing it out here for Lacey, and Lacey's got the first down. Finally dragged down by Derek Martin, but Lacey was an easy target as someone just completely let him fly free.
I'll tell you what, Jim, I was watching Derek Martin all the way as they brought the back out of the backfield. He started upfield. Derek Martin just knocked him flat. Then when they threw the ball out there, what happened was that Derek Martin got hung up with the receiver for a moment and made him a little late to get over and get in on the play. He got a downfield block on him by his own volition.
7-3 Oakland, 2:27 to go, first quarter. It's 1st and 10 at the Michigan 40. And there's there's John Williams. And look at that man pursue him. David Shaw, the linebacker, looked like he was the running back. He really flew. Williams, of course, was not going at top speed, just trying to get outside and pick a spot. But Shaw just simply came flying across to nail him.
Well, it looked like they should have just given the ball to Shaw, as John Williams, conventional sweep out there, underneath handoff, dips it in and swings outside. That's 58. That's running him down at that point. David Shaw, weak side linebacker, and they call him Clark Kent. He never says much. He's just always there, and he was there at that point.
Second down and 13 from the 37. What a beautiful afternoon in Oakland, California. Anthony Allen, and Whit Taylor is not going to get away. Well, he does get away. And now they say he was in the grass, back near the 30-yard line. And as we all know, that is for the protection of the quarterback. Now, if they credit that to Dave Browning, as we are, number 73, that would be his 13th sack. Second in the league.
Well, Dave Browning initially was with the Oakland Raiders at one point. High draft choice for them. Always been an excellent pass rusher out of the University of Washington. That time extremely effective. He didn't think they were going to give it to him for a moment. He threw his elbow pad into the dirt, but then after they gave it to him, he was much happier.
A minute and 10 to go, first quarter. Michigan's tried a lot. They've had three wide receivers with Broughton in the backfield, and then they bring him out. He's still back there with Lacey, and now Michigan calls timeout. 1:08 left, first quarter. Oakland, California. Invaders lead.
Has got a game plan working for him defensively that he wanted coming into this contest. He felt he wanted to keep Michigan in long yardage so he could cut loose that pass rush, put the pressure on Whit Taylor. That time Taylor doing some fancy footwork, but they blew it dead. So now he's facing that long third down situation.
Third down from a 31, and they've got to go about 19 yards to get a first down. Anthony Allen in motion. Taylor fires, and the ball is caught. First down across the way. Coming down with a Walter Broughton, and I want to tell you, Kenny Daniel hit him, but Broughton was just beyond the first down marker, and they needed 19, and he got more than that.
Well, nothing fancy with this. They thought they were going to pick it up. Good protection up front for Whit Taylor as he drops back. See that lane open up for him to give him vision. He's not very tall. He's trying to lay it over the top. You'll see a couple players come in there, think that they're going to get a piece of it. They don't, but right now, pow! Oh, that's football as Daniel drills Broughton.
First down, ball at the 47-yard line. Running play. They haven't run too many plays, have they? And still on his feet and going is John Williams. Albert Bentley was slated to start because of the ankle problem to John Williams, but Williams has been in there. Terry Miller was shown some action, and Ken O'Neill came on in placement for Mike Cobb, who's nothing wrong with him, early in the first quarter and caught a big pass. And now time has run out in the first quarter. Thus far, there's nothing to choose except on the score. Across there by David Shaw, number 58.
Good job of stringing it out. They want to run that sweep to that wide side of the field, but the defensive unit of the Invaders just paralleled it down the line with Shaw making the cleanup play on Lacey.
Don Williams comes in, Lacey goes out, and Broughton remains in there as they're going to a three wide receiver offense, but that's disguised because Broughton is in the backfield most of the time. Third down, 9 to go. Anthony Allen in motion. And across the middle and almost picked off by Darrell Hart. Mike Cobb, the intended receiver.
That's one Darrell Hart. That's one Darrell Hart thought he was going to come up with. There's Cobb, Mike Cobb, 89, releasing off the line of scrimmage. Comes down, hooks, but look at Hart step right in front. Now watch him say, "Ah, rats! I had that one picked off. How could that happen?" Work on those hands.
There's Skip Johnston to kick the ball away. This time he's kicking into the wind. Mark Lewis, the deep man. First minute of the second quarter. Lewis Lewis is going to let that go, which you do inside the 10-yard line, and it goes into the end zone and comes up with the 20-yard line. First down and 10. Basana to Brian Williams in the first quarter.
And a nice drive it was, as they drove essentially the distance of the field, mostly on Basana's arm.
From the 20. Gordon Banks wide to the left. Mark Lewis goes to the right. Oakland looking for its 7th in a row. Eric Jordan, he's got speed and bursts through and gets across the 25 to the 26. And it'll be second down and 4. Ray Bentley, number 50, put him down.
Oh, when you said he had speed and he made that cut, Jordan accelerated through that crack. Ray Bentley coming across. There is Bentley, number 50, as he's moving that way. Now watch him overrun this play because of Jordan's quickness to turn it up inside of him. Whoop, put on the brakes, try and get back. Too late.
Bentley, an old USFL performer. Second down and along 4 yards to go. They're going to give it to Jordan again. Jordan, hey, look at this. He simply picked his way by going through a maze and finally winds out across the 30-yard line, which is good enough for the first down. Pennywell and Borland put him down. First down at the 32-yard line.
You know, Jim, that's what a good back does. The previous play, he saw that crack, had a better crack, accelerated and took it. That time, as you described him picking his way, that's exactly what he did. He geared back, slowed his pace up, read his blocks, and still picked up yardage.
You think Houston, Jack Pardee and squad are watching this afternoon? If Michigan should lose today and they beat Chicago tomorrow, well, Houston, an expansion team, would win its division. They're already in the playoffs. Michigan is fighting to get in the playoffs, as are the Invaders. First down for Sana. Flag is down. Fred's got a lot of time now, runs out of it. And he's in the grass bog and throws the ball toward Tom Newton. But a flag went down immediately, remember. And Basana went down also.
Basana not real happy with himself. He felt he should get rid of that football, as Larry Bethea, the defensive end, was the one that finally put him to the grass. But as he dumped it off, it was just a couple of seconds too long, so it goes for a sack.
Motion. Offense number 88. Penalty
That's Gordon
refused.
Banks.
Second down.
Penalty refused, and that's the second time in this game, and we still have 12.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Basana, they've been cutting down on the sacks, gets sacked each time, not because he held onto the ball rather than put it up in the air for grabs, but each time because he has simply been nailed. Put the ball on the 23-yard line. Second down, 19. Sana on the handoff. There goes Jordan. And Jordan gets across the 25 to about the 28-yard line, where he's put down there. And looking for help again is Ray Bentley to get up, along with Robert Pennywell. And now it is third down and long. 3rd and 13.
Not a bad play to call at that stage. A little draw to kind of slow that pass rush up. It's normally not going to average too big for you. That time he got about 8 yards with it, but it keeps that defensive line and linebackers from trying to get quite so much penetration. Makes them stay at home now and then.
Banks left and Lewis to the right. 3rd and long. The blitz is on. Basana gets it away and intended for Brian Williams, but instead it is picked off. Vito McKeever has his first interception of the year playing that left cornerback. And that's the first big break of the game as McKeever takes the ball back to the 29-yard line.
Bad choice by Basana at that stage. Brian Williams was running a sideline or a drag out type of a pattern. You'll see him in the center pushing off the linebacker to that side. Second man in. Now he'll start coming into view. The first man downfield really isn't in the picture. That's Mark Lewis. But as he goes to the sideline, the ball's thrown a little short. 2 men over there. Nice play by Vito McKeever.
And that's only the 9th interception of the year. This is the 16th ball game for Fred Basana. A first down at the 30-yard line. And they give the ball to Williams, and Williams gets maybe a yard or so.
Big turnover right here as far as Michigan is concerned, with good field position. You mentioned the 9th interception by Basana. It's only the 10th interception of the secondary of Michigan that has been decimated over there. Oliver Davis on the other corner, number 21, is the only secondary starter from training camp. So they've used a lot of different personnel back there, but they've now given the Michigan offense great field position.
When you and I last saw them, they had Clarence Chapman, David Greenwood, and John Arnott back there, along with Davis. It's all changed because of injury and trade. Here's Broughton out of the backfield in motion on second down long, and Lacey's going to be thrown for a loss. Browning is one of the men, and the other man is Tim Moore.
Moore got pretty good penetration there. Dave Browning played it well. They wanted to go with the draw action. There's Dave Browning working on Tony Osmond. Browning coming off to make the tackle and slap it down, but very alert play on his part as he shed the offensive tackle, used his hands well there, and then moved to the play.
They need some yardage for Boyovich. As good as Novo is, he'd be kicking into a rather strong wind. Broughton playing a lot on the backfield, coming out as a third wide receiver, number 24. Get the ball to John Williams. John Williams is looking for some running room and does not get it because Kenny Daniel put him down at the 28. So it's 4th down and 8, and that means after the interception of McKeever to the 30 in 3 downs, Michigan picks up 2 yards and will go to their bench. And we'll go to, let's see, here comes Novo Boyovich out on the field.
You know, you go back to that first drive too, Jim, where the Invaders held them at the goal line, forced Michigan to settle for a field goal. So that defense has played very steady here this afternoon.
This drive will be, or I should say this field goal will be 47 yards between the 40 and 49. Novo is very good, 5 of 7. But remember, there is a wind slightly across, but essentially in his face. 47-yard field goal attempt. Novo from 47 out. Is it good? It is good. And Boyovich does it again. He has all 6 points.
A little dance as he moves off the field.
An 18-yarder with the win, a 47-yarder against the win, and it is 7-6. Those 3 points, the direct result of the McKeever interception of Hasanov. 23, they're the deep men. 7-6 to score, 9:07 to go in the half. Good ball game, isn't it? And this is Mark Lewis back at the 1-yard line, and he picks it up. 10, he's going to get across the 20 at least, and up to about the 28-yard line, and a flag goes down. And mixing it up in there is number 59, Dean Moore, and I think he thinks that somebody did something to Mark Lewis. Lenny Patrick also in there for Michigan.
I'll tell you, Mark Lewis got up that field in a hurry. Once he fielded that football, boy, did he turn it on. Looked
Face
like
mask apparently is going to be charged against Michigan. That's what it is. Dave Kamansky gives us the word.
I was going to say it looked like it was a face mask down there, the way he spun his head around.
We're in the Bay Area, Oakland, California. And don't you think the people out here aren't reading of those tragic tornadoes in the Midwest, reading of the heat wave on the East Coast and saying, haven't we got the weather here?
Face
and they
mask,
do.
defense, first down.
And I said that because Don Heinrich lives around here.
Yes, and I'm glad I live here. You're absolutely right when I read about that. Here's the face mask action coming upfield with the football. Mark Lewis steps up inside. There it is, right there. You see the reach in. His head comes around, and that's what caused the penalty as well as the little scuffle afterwards.
Banks and Lewis to the same side again. They've been showing us that formation much of the day. 7-6 Oakland. They've got the ball first down at their own 34. And as Bassano throwing it out here to Mark Lewis, like the speed he saw last time. Vito McKeever had the interception that set up the last field goal, ran him out of bounds as he gets to about the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 6, 2nd and 4.
Jim, that little play right there, the little screen move out to Lewis where he steps upfield, drops back, and they get one man out in front of him, could be a prelude to him setting up a possible pass off of that, because Mark Lewis was a high school quarterback. They have that in their bag of tricks.
Lewis this time wide to the right. Banks left. 2nd and 4. That is Jordan. And Jordan barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. He is absolutely buried there. Larry Bethea leading the attack. Former Dallas Cowboy. So give him a yard. Give him a yard. 3rd down and 3 from the 42.
The Invaders moving their offense around quite a bit. They had success when they drove for the touchdown, essentially throwing the football. They've kept it honest by some running plays, but they've used the Statue of Liberty, and they've used that quick screen action to wide receiver.
This is the Invaders' last home game. They won the last 4 in a row. And here's Newton. He's going to pick up the first down. Even though he fell, Tom Newton gets across the 45-yard line. Down to the other side now, and Lewis gets away and picks up 7 or 8 yards and moves into Michigan territory. Check that. That's Banks, and the flag is down. David Tipton peeled back. But we're having a lot of flags thrown, and
They've been a little bit flag happy here this afternoon in this football game.
Lavassa's upset because it is against the Invaders. So Gordon Banks has caught a ball in every one of the Invaders games that have been played in their year-and-a-half history. And he continued that streak today, as did Mike Cobb for the Michigan Panthers.
Well, Chuck Hutchinson said that they were going to pull out all stops this afternoon. That time the quick screen to the other side, so he's tried it once to each wide receiver, and they still got some more.
Illegal block above the waist, number 72.
That is
First
Dale
down.
Markham, the tallest man in the USFL at 6'9". No problem seeing Markham at 6'9".
Well, you'll see him come from the left side of the screen. Number 72, you said it, 6'9", 290 pounds as he comes flying across. And it's bright sunshine, but he'll blot it out.
First and 20 from the 36. 7-6 Oakland. Jordan looking for somewhere to go and gets a few yards, and that is about all. Dragged down as he went by Mike Edwards, a reserve linebacker out of Oklahoma State, where Jim Stanley, the Panther coach, used to be the head coach. So put the ball down at the 38-yard line. By the way, this is inconsequential to most of you watching, but as a broadcaster, we applaud the Oakland Invaders. You know why? They've made a change in their numbers, and that you can see them this year, as opposed to a year ago. You could sit here and they'd have to wear flags to say "my name is," but now they have changed the numbers, and they're very clear to all of us, and for that we are grateful. Second down at 18, and a little mix up here. Lavas is pointing the other way, saying that's not me.
Dave Tipton says yes it is. He's the nose tackle across from him. We'll see what the official interpreted it as. I don't know how the center can move unless he adjusted the football.
And Mansky, what they say offside, that's going to be Michigan. So it'll be second down and 13. The old joke, all linemen are taught, whether offense or defense, if they're wrong, point at the other person immediately.
Certainly. The other thing they're told many, many times is don't watch the other lineman, the offensive lineman. Watch the football. And obviously Tipton did not.
6:37 to go. First half from Oakland. It's 7-6 the Invaders, and they've got second down and 13 to go from their own 43. Here's Bassana. Look out. He rolls away from there and now drills the ball to Gordon Banks, and Banks is across the midfield stripe to about the 48-yard line, where it'll be third down and 4 to go. Put down there by Ray Bentley again, along with Robert Pennywell. Two good inside linebackers.
And the first man to him, Pennywell, that got a piece of him. Excellent move by Banks as he did a full 360 as quick as he is, and picked up about 4 or 5 more out of that play. Good job by Bassana, too, getting not only out of trouble, but to find somebody open in Banks.
If Oakland should lose today, they are out of the playoff picture. Michigan should lose today, they could still get a playoff spot by winning the last 2. Third down 3, Bassana short drop and gets the ball away, and that is Jordan, and he's got a first down. Jordan hung on to by Tom Moriarty, the strong safety, filling in for David Greenwood, was out with knee surgery, and it's a first down at the 43-yard line.
And another big play by Bassana as Bassana is getting inside pressure. You'll see as he drops back, coming right up the slot, that's 58, Will Coakley, the linebacker, that takes him down, but just a little too late as he dumps it off to Jordan before Moriarty, the safety, can recover, keeping this drive alive.
Michigan using a lot of 4-down linemen. They usually have a 3-4, but they've been playing a lot of 4-down linemen. And now a reverse coming this way is Lewis. Gets away from one man. Lewis is inside the 40 and gets inside the 35. Beautiful run by Lewis. One man had him in the backfield, got away from him. Another man had him at the 40, and he got inside the 35.
Well, Mike Edwards is the linebacker on the left of your screen. The play will start out to the right. There's the second handoff to Lewis coming back to the left. You'll see 53 right there. That's the linebacker. He misses. Some good running. Nice block out in front of it. 64 right there is Tracy Franz. But not only the gain, where they got a little over 9 yards, but it keeps the pursuit of that defense at home so that some of their other runs are more effective. And the Invaders pulling out all the tricks, Jim.
And remember, he may stop with one of his pushes sometime and throw the ball, as you indicated. Second down, about a half a yard to go. And they're going to give it to Newton, and he's got that and more. Oh, my, he buried Ron Osborne. Ran right over the free safety. First down inside the 25-yard line. 7-6 Oakland, and they're on the move.
Well, Tom Newton, I'll tell you, is a load in there at 6 feet, 230 pounds. He came off that left side. Head coach Chuck Hutchinson says he has come on of late, that he is averaging a little better than 4 yards a carry. Up until this game, he was less than that, his total overall average. But he gets the hard yards, and he punished Osborne.
Banks left, Lewis right, first down. And they give it to Newton again, and Newton again runs over Osborne and then by him. First down at the 9-yard line. Ron Osborne doesn't care if Newton retires right at halftime. His last 2 plays, he has really been punished.
I'll tell you one thing, Osborne knows what his number is. His number is 45. You'll see him come to the right of your screen, now the left, as we turn it around. Now watch the cutback right there. Over pursuit, down the middle. Here comes 23 Osborne. Boom. Hello, Mr. Osborne. Well, forget you. I'm moving on down, get a few more yards. Deep in Michigan territory.
Inside the 10-yard line, leading by a point. Invaders looking for more. Trying to win their 7th in a row and stay alive. And Eric Jordan carries. And Jordan's down to about the 5-yard line. Second down and goal to go. And with the Invaders playing as they are, you wonder about Chuck Hutchinson, because Charlie Sumner, the head coach next year, with whom we hope to talk at halftime, is the coach next year. Does Hutchinson stay on as an assistant, go back to player personnel, or on the fact that he's won 6 in a row, maybe some other team in the league might say, hey, he might make us a good head coach. But his future is in doubt. Charlie Sumner, with whom we'll talk at halftime, he's got the job for next year. Second down and 5. Banks wide left. Masana looking for Lewis, and Lewis can't get it. I said Lewis, that's Jordan on the backfield. Beg your pardon. Kyle Borland was there. It's 20, not 80.
And Kyle Borland, as a linebacker, his responsibility is to cover Eric Jordan. That is a mismatch with Jordan's speed at 4'4" and a linebacker trying to cover him. Borland did exactly what you should do as a linebacker. He popped him as he came out of the backfield, took away his momentum just enough so that the ball had to be thrown to the outside. As a result, Basana missed him.
Brian Williams had to readjust the headgear of Tom Newton. Newton must have taken a shot in trying to block. 3rd and 5, 3rd and goal. Now looping it over here and over everybody. And Oliver Davis was back there with Gordon Banks. And now they're going to have to go for a field goal. Kevin Shea coming onto the field. Well, we talked about this. We talked to Chuck Hutchinson. Do you have a fake field goal? And he said, well, I tell you one thing. Woody Hayes, who coached him at Ohio State, said if you're going to have it, make up your mind before the game you'll use it, and then either do it or don't. But don't make up your mind in the middle of the game and then agonize over what you did. We'll see here whether there's going to be a chip shot of 22 yards or a fake. Well, I tell you what, it is not a fake. And from 22 yards out, it is no good. Shea has given them very inconsistent. He is now only 500 on the year. And after moving all the way down to 2nd down and 5 for the goal and the touchdown, Kevin Shea misses a 22-yard field goal, and Oakland still leads, but we've only seen them once all year. That was when their lights went out down in San Antonio against the Pittsburgh Maulers, who won only 3. But I guarantee you, Pittsburgh under Ellis Rainsberger, with a new coach coming in there also, are playing great football. They outplayed the Stars last Monday, only to lose in the last couple of minutes. 7-6 our score, close to the 2-minute mark. And Whit Taylor's got the ball. Puts it up, and it's Anthony Allen, first down at the 32-yard line. 1:55 to go, and they're going to call the 2-minute warning right here. 2 minutes, 1:55 to go in the half. Oakland leading by a point. Field goal for Philadelphia to beat Denver. Ken Hobart did an outstanding job starting for them as quarterback. Meanwhile, Arizona and Jacksonville. Arizona now scored about 90-some points in the last 2 games. They blasted Jacksonville last night 45-14 to stay in the playoff picture. 1:55 to go. First half. We're at Oakland. The ball's at the 32-yard line. Michigan has the ball.
And that had to be a crucial 3-point miss by Shea that would put them up by 4 just prior to this halftime.
I know the 3 points you'd expect, but they've not been getting good field goal kicking from Shea. It was only at 50%. Whether or not Chuck Hutchinson might have thought, gee, maybe I should have. Well, he made his choice, and it didn't happen. Here is Taylor in trouble. Taylor in deep trouble, gets the ball away and over the head of Albert Bentley. There was a man there, Bentley, coming out of the backfield. Taylor out of Vanderbilt showing outstanding footwork there.
Boy, did he ever, because he was under heavy siege dancing around in there. He did a good job of just getting it off to keep it 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and about 16 or 17.
That's going to be a trivia question down the line for the year at least. Who was the man that replaced Bobby Hebert when for the first time in Michigan Panther history he did not start because of bad knees? Answer, Whit Taylor.
The Vandy Dandy.
The Vandy Dandy.
Sure.
Second down. There goes Allen in motion. Taylor with time now, drills it. And there's Derek Martin putting down number 29, Derek Holloway. Derek puts down Derek. They spell it differently, but that's the first time that Holloway's been loose, and that is his 55th catch of the year.
Loose zone to the outside there. You see kind of a man-for-man coverage. It's actually a zone as the deep man in the middle with that 5 defensive backs is Frank Duncan.
Now a little swing pass out here, and Lenny Patrick battles his way for about 5 yards. In the tying touchdown drive of 80 yards a week ago, Lenny Patrick, a rookie out of Alabama, caught 3 balls for 43 of their 80 yards. Time has been called by Michigan on the field. We've got 1:24 to go. 2nd and 5 Michigan. They trail by a point. Ball club up top. They led briefly at 3-0. Then it was 7-3 and 7-6. Could have been 10-6, but Shea missed that 22-yard chip shot field goal with the wind at his back. 2nd down 5. Anthony Allen in motion. Taylor, short drop. Oh, it's almost picked off. Almost picked off by Darrell Hart, intended for Derek Holloway. Hart, the rookie out of Lane College, almost had his first interception.
Well, that's twice that Darrell Hart has been in excellent position. Right there, the ball's going to be forced a little bit. You see Whit Taylor coming off the side, but super anticipation by Hart. 2 times today that he's had his mitts on one, but couldn't quite come up with it.
And now Ken O'Neill checks in, and Cobb trots off the field at the last moment on 3rd down and 5. Taylor puts it up long for Anthony Allen, and it's out of bounds off the sidelines. Hart was back there with him. It's 4th down and 5, and apparently the Invaders have dodged the bullet here toward the end of the first half.
The Invaders utilizing a lot of stunts up front with their defensive line, and when they get long yardage situations, they like to try and stir up that offense a bit, make those offensive linemen have to struggle as they're looping those tackles and ends around, and has created some problems.
That is Mark Lewis's deep. Skip Johnston, who has been punting, this is his 3rd. He is the 5th punter this year for Michigan. All brought about, of course, by the injury to David Greenwood, their good strong safety and punter. This is the 5th one. No flags. Johnson, oh, terrible kick. Awful kick.
Shanker.
barely got back to the line of scrimmage, and maybe 4, 5, 7 yards more.
He shanked that. Boy, that's like your golf game. You ever hit one of those, you know, you start thinking about it. He'd go to the sideline that way. I'll tell you what, right now, the Invaders, with 1:09 to go and several timeouts available, they could move into position. Watch the drop here. See, it comes off the side, and he hits it clear almost off of the ankle. You see him, he knows that he did it. Nobody knows better than the kicker. Everybody's looking at him. He comes to the sideline, tries to find a place on the bench where nobody will bug him about it.
He doesn't want to talk about a total of 11 yards pickup on the kick. 11 yards only. From a 35-yard line, Basana, who's throwing a touchdown pass, gets this one away. Flag is down, downfield, thrown all the way down at the 30-yard line, about 10 yards behind anybody else. And that could mean an illegal block or chuck down the field as Newton caught the ball for about a 6-yard pickup.
You know, Jim, you look at this Michigan football team, and it is going to be against Michigan. But a year ago, we saw them on several occasions. We caught them earlier this year. They just don't look like the same football team out there.
No, they don't. And Jim Stanley has said, and you can see it is an illegal chuck or block.
You know, they don't show the same kind of rhythm with their football team.
Well, the offensive line, as we all know, has been torn apart, but we all know that there have been 9 players who have asked for renegotiation of contract.
Defense number 52.
That's on Kyle Borland. First down.
Well, it's Brian Williams, number 81, the tight end, with Kyle Borland, the linebacker. You see Borland got his hands all over him, pushing him around. You can't do that 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, or if the man gets parallel to you. But, you know, like you mentioned, 9 injuries there. Michigan has 11 different players in the lineup than what they had against Oakland the last time they played them.
First down from the 40-yard line after the holding penalty. Basana over the middle for Williams and almost intercepted by several men. First of all, it was Coakley went off his hands, then Moriarty had a shot at it. And it's second down and 10.
Well, Brian Williams is just going to come shallow from the right side of your screen. And really, Basana puts too much on this one. There's too much velocity. Despite the fact that it's high, you see Williams popping up in the air, then Borland, and then one more try over there as Coakley trying to get a piece of it. But that ball was thrown so hard, nobody could get it. Hot potato.
Second down and 10, 55 seconds to go in the first half. Oakland by a point, and that's Newton. He'll pick up some yardage. Newton's going to get out of bounds, run out of bounds by Futrell across the way after a pickup of 4 yards to the 44-yard line. Third down and 6, and 50 seconds left on the clock.
And you notice that Futrell, who is a nickel back in that Michigan secondary, he learned something earlier watching Newton run that football and run over Ron Osborne at free safety. He didn't try and take him. He just shoved him out of bounds.
The Invaders are the real story. Remember when they came up against Washington and neither team had won a ball game and Washington won it? And then they said, that's it. The Invaders are the worst team in football in the USFL. They have since won 6 in a row. They're a point ahead in their quest for a 7th in a row. Basana has his man, but can't get the ball to Banks. Banks made the good dive for it at the 44-yard line.
And Basana unhappy with himself because Banks got open so quick on a sideline pattern, straight upfield, then he'll break it right directly into your living room, right there to the outside. Defensive back, never in the picture. Oliver Davis, but Basana letting it go in a hurry, threw it errantly.
Talley to kick the ball away. Broughton is deep at the 15-yard line. Talley has the wind at his back. So the poor punt. A skip jump. Oops, look out. Almost blocked, but gets the ball away. And Broughton calls for a fair catch inside the 20-yard line at the 12. And with 38 seconds to go, the Panthers are in trouble there. The 20. Either one was in preference to what he did. Now straight ahead goes Lenny Patrick. Lenny weighs 82, but is only 5 feet 7 inches tall. And when you play for the late, played for the late Paul Bear Bryant of Alabama, or was a running back, you were one of about a half a dozen, or maybe even a dozen he used every single season. He never stuck with one man.
You are so right. You used to watch them play on TV or in person, and they'd come at you with so many running backs that it was unbelievable. Most clubs didn't have that many in a roster.
Well, this first half is over, and you'll hear the gun right about now. And it has been Oakland down 3-0, came back, took the 7-3 lead, and then led 7-6, and then O'Shea missed a chance to go up by the score of 10-6. So at the half, 7-6, Oakland by a point.
And the Philadelphia Stars. First quarter, Denver back to punt, but the snap goes over the punter's head. Brian Spielman says, oops, I'm in trouble. He gets the ball in the end zone, throws it out the side. That's a safety, 2-0 Philadelphia. Second quarter, rookie quarterback Kenny Hobart, first start for the Denver Gold. 6-yard draw play. Denver leads at 7-2, but later in the half, Kelvin Bryant, who finished with 194 yards for the night, his best night running the football as a pro, goes 20 yards for a touchdown. Look at the footwork along the sidelines. 8-7 Philadelphia. Third quarter, Bryant does it again, this time from 10 yards. Out it's 15-7 Philly. Fourth quarter now, 18-13. The Stars hanging on, but Harry Sidney gives Denver a 19-18 lead with a 1-yard plunge. But with 8 seconds remaining, David Trout attempting a 19-yard field goal. The snap is down, the kick is up. Forget it. Philadelphia runs its record to 15-1. A last-second victory over the upset-minded Denver Gold, 21-19. And then last night at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, big game for the Arizona Wranglers and their playoff hopes. First quarter with the score 7-0 Arizona. The Wranglers fake the field goal. Backup quarterback Alan Risher keeps it and runs for a first down. Eventually, Kevin Long scored his second touchdown, 14-0 Wranglers early. Matt Robinson tried to rally the Jacksonville Bulls, but Luther Bradley, who once had 6 interceptions in one game, has an easy interception here and a 13-yard return. Now, the Wranglers capitalized on that turnover, the old flea flicker play, and 17-year veteran Greg Landry connects with Lenny Willis. Great catch by Willis. He goes on in, 21-0 Arizona. Second quarter, Landry finding his favorite target, number 2, Trumaine Johnson, a 15-yard touchdown. This made it 38-0. The Wranglers go on to romp over the Jacksonville Bulls, 45-14, and Arizona still has playoff hope in the Western Cup. And Oakland, in that statistic, only 1 turnover. That was Fred Bassana throwing an interception for the Invaders, which...
Invaders trying to win their 7th in a row, lead Michigan by the score of 7-6 with another half yet to play. We've already told you that Chuck Hutchinson, who is the coach at the moment, will not be the coach for 1985. The coach for 1985 is standing right next to me, Charlie Sumner. Charlie, congratulations on your new job, first of all.
Thank you very much, Jim.
And secondly, what do you do when another man is in charge, will be in charge to the end of the season, and you got another season, well, 6 months before you come back? Are you hands-on, or do you lay back and let it all happen, or you just observe?
I'm observing mostly, but I am, available for consultation or whatever they want. You know, when they want to ask me a question, I'm up on everything.
I'm sure you are. In looking ahead, without being specific, how do you look ahead? You decide the players you'd like to have, the players you don't have, the players that you need. You got to have some kind of plans for 85 and then the offseason of 84.
Yes, I've evaluated the squad, and trying to, see what our needs will be for next year.
And I'll ask you one more question. Everybody asks anybody that broadcasts USFL, officiates in USFL, plays or coaches in USFL. Obviously, you think the USFL is going to go because you just cast your lot with the Oakland Invaders.
That's correct. I wouldn't have come here if I didn't think it was a good deal.
You're smiling now. I hope in 1985 when I talk to you mid-season, or with 3 games to go, you're still smiling.
Thank you. I'm sure I will be.
Charlie Sumner, who is our brand new coach of Oakland after the season is over. We'll come back in a moment with the second half kickoff with the score at the half. Oakland trying for 7 in a row, leading Michigan by. Michigan is already on the field. Michigan started their first drive from their own 49, but had to punt. The second time they got the ball in Oakland territory and moved in for an 18-yard field goal by Nojo Bojovic. The third time a punt, and then Bojovic into the wind, a 47-yard field goal for all of their points. And they had to punt, and then they had the ball on their own 13, just ran a play and let the clock run down. And they came up with 6 points to Oakland's 7.
Oakland, on the other hand, were 3 plays and out twice. Then they came a long drive, starting at their own 29, going 72 yards with the final touch by Bassana for 6 points. The field goal was made. Then an interception. Then Kevin Shea missed a short field goal just prior to the half. They got the ball back one more time, had to kick it away, but not particularly productive.
And each ball club, as we told you, are looking for a chance to get to the playoffs with a backup quarterback, Whit Taylor, leading Michigan.
And Whit Taylor 8 for 15 in his first start, 123 yards. Big thing, no interceptions there, although he has not thrown for any touchdown passes. They settled for a couple of field goals. Fred Bassan, on the other hand, 9 for 16 and 1 touchdown pass. So right now it looks like the Invaders, leading 7-6, are cranked up.
And Bobby Hebert, for the first time in his career because of bad knees, injury suffered last week, is not starting, is not playing, may not play the rest of the season if Taylor can do the job. He is available as a backup. But that is all. And consider that Hebert has thrown 20 touchdown passes on the year, but it's been not that kind of year because he's also thrown 22 interceptions. But now Oakland will kick it off, and Shea will be kicking off into the wind.
Should give Michigan an opportunity to get a fairly decent return out of it with an anticipated short kick.
Albert Bentley, Bobby Futrell. That's Bentley on your right, Futrell on your left, are deep. Shea high and very short, and that is Bentley at the 13-yard line. And the fullback out of Miami gets back across the 40-yard line before he is dragged down there. Kevin Shea, the kicker, took him down. But Michigan trailing by a point, already in good situation. Now remember, Bentley's coming in. Lacey played, Cleo Miller was in, Lenny Patrick was in, John Williams was in, Terry Miller was in, but a lot of the backfield play was by Walter Broughton, who really is a wide receiver, and he was in there and would swing out in motion each time. This time as they come out, they're not like that at all, as Broughton is wide to the left, and the lone setback is Albert Bentley. They've got 3 wideouts on first down, and Broughton's the man in motion from his split end position. Here's Taylor going to the right. Taylor's throwing, and Taylor does not get his man. Matter of fact, nobody was near it. Anthony Allen, the closest man in the vicinity. Taylor just drilled it into the ground. Dave Browning was pressuring him. It's 2nd down and 10.
Well, a defensive unit of that Oakland Invaders squad, headed by Ron Lynn, the coordinator. They've done a good job all year. That time they strung that out as Whit Taylor on a sprint out or roll action was pinned to the sidelines. Coverage good, no one open, eventually just threw it away.
Allen comes to the left, and to the right goes Derek Holloway. There's Broughton again out of the backfield. And Taylor, the blitz is on this time, and he's going to be caught. Blitzing from the right side hard was Tim Lucas, and he got some help from the left side. Looked as though it was David Shaw. Both outside linebackers coming.
Well, Whit Taylor, he pump faked one time as he got back. He had some time initially. You see the slant by the line in there, then the twist coming around in the center of your picture. He goes to throw, recocks. It's too late. He goes down. Good pass rush.
And you could see Tim Moore was in to help out.
Tim Moore, the nose tackle, was the man that took the initial slant in the direct direction he was going.
3rd down and 19 from a 35. Oakland continues to play good defense. Broughton continues to go in motion for Michigan. And Taylor on a handoff is not going to get nearly enough out of that. Lacey is still, now he is thrown down. Now he is thrown down, but then again, let's face it, Lacey kept those legs going, and so as long as you keep moving, the defense can do anything they want with you.
And that was Tim Moore that finally threw him down. He's still kind of fired up that he got a part of that sack on the previous play of Whit Taylor, and that time he finished it off by telling Lacey, I can handle you too, big fella.
Well, I don't question Lacey's courage because he is a fullback going over to the NFL, but when he looked up and saw Moore weighs 275 to 280 there, he kind of, well, that's the way the game goes.
Yes.
Okay. Skip Johnston, and is kicking with the wind. Oh, gets it away. They knock him down, but there is no flag, and it may be they feel that he just went down. Mark Lewis lets it go out of bounds inside the 25. And now Skip Johnston is pursuing the referee, Dave Kamansky, saying, hey, I was knocked off my feet, and nothing happened.
Well, I'll tell you, I think Skip Johnson had a legitimate complaint there because the ball was away, and he really didn't fake it that much. They caught him with his leg out, spun him around, and put him down.
And no flag. Mark the ball on the 24-yard line. Time has been called. 12:59 to go. We're in the third quarter. Score stands as at sweepstakes. There is time. This is the last month. Just listen for the code words on our Saturday game, on our Monday game. Put both words on a postcard. Send them with your name and address to ESPN Sweepstakes, Post Office Box 1000, Kensington, Maryland 20895. It's easy to play, easy to win valuable prizes, including a brand new car, just by watching the USFL here on ESPN. First down, Oakland from the 24. Eric Jordan gets across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Hanging on was Ray Bentley and John Banaszak, numbers 50 and 76.
Well, Michigan coming out here in the second half. You mentioned earlier a lot of four-man line when there have been essentially a three-man front throughout the year. Again, right off the reel. 4 down linemen changing their defensive look.
12:35, and they've done a lot of things. Let's give credit to Jim Stanley. He started Ken O'Neill. He's used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 6 of his backs. He's used a 3 wide receiver offense much of the time, but he's still down by a point. Oakland is going with what got them their 6 straight wins. Basana pumps. Basana puts out to Newton off his hands, and Newton takes a mild shot from Kyle Borland after he dropped the ball. And it's 3rd down.
And John Banaszak, the defensive end, was kind of in the face. Right here you get the nose tackle, 65, Dave Tipton, working on number 56, offensive center Roger Lavassa. And Tipton, you can see right there, kind of staying after him. A little shot to the top of the head. You know, whatever works out there. Let me let you know I'm around, Roger. I'll lay one on you when I get a chance.
Lavassa, like Manu Maliuna, both born in American Samoa, both very good football players.
And both very tough.
3rd down. 5 to go, and Basana to throw. They had the safety blitz on. The ball is out here. Gee, Brian Williams did such a good job handling that ball, knowing he's going to take a pop from the defensive back Bobby Futrell, and Williams just gathered it in, made it look easy.
Great concentration by Williams. Is good protection. You see 58 coming in late, gets picked up. That was Will Coakley, the linebacker. But look at the concentration as he goes up high. Chuck Hutchinson says that if he were to pick a player in his club as the most valuable player, he feels that Brian Williams would be that man.
That was a great demonstration, if you don't know what we mean, of soft hands. Just
give with the ball.
Just so good. Here's Basana again, and the ball is caught again by Brian Williams again. A 1st down again, and extra effort gets the ball into the territory of Michigan.
Well, you know, too, when you talk about tight ends, and a lot of clubs, you see or hear comments to the effect that they use an H-back attack, or they try to get their tight end to be an intricate part of their offense. Well, they want that blocking. Brian Williams fits that mold at 6'5", 240 pounds. But also is an excellent receiver, makes the big target, has the great hands in order to pick that ball out of the air.
In a 100-yard game against Denver a couple of weeks back. 88 yards last week. 1st down, they'll give the ball. Oh, Jordan just can't get away, can he? And a flag is down. Tipton had him on the ground, but remember, there's an offensive lineman down with Tipton. So let's just see what the flag is on, and it's going to be against Oakland.
I think we're going to get a little holding call on this one.
They're both on the ground. Tipton made the tackle anyway, but he was held.
Good job by Tipton. He's taken slants one way or the other and given Lavassa a little bit of a problem handling him, which means then that the guard has to help Lavassa out and pick him up. But Tipton's been splitting the two of them.
11:17 to go, 3rd quarter. Oakland by a point, and Oakland about to be penalized here. The big 10 yards, takes it back inside the 45 to the 43. Holding charged.
Offensive holding, number 56. First
That's
down.
Lavassa. That's the 2nd time he's been called for holding.
Yes, it is. You can see Lavassa there, 56, trying to handle 65 Tipton. He's trying to shove him by, but once the play veers to the outside, Tipton's momentum's going that way, and Lavassa tried to get the hook out there a little bit and managed to get caught.
Basana Just puts it out here to Brian Williams again. Williams gets some of those yards back, 3 or 4. That's about all from the 43 to the 46. Kyle Borland put him down. And it'll be 2nd down and long, about 17 yards.
Well, Ron Osborne, the free safety, was faking the safety blitz. Bassano read it. He automaticked. When he did that, he was going to go with just 2 receivers upfield, Gordon Banks and Mark Lewis, the 2 wide people. That meant that Brian Williams, the tight end, would stay in and help block in anticipation of a blitz. And then Bassano just dumped it off to him and got a few yards back.
Now, as they so often have done, they put both Banks and Mark Lewis to the same side on 2nd down and 17. Bassano, short drop, trying to get it out there and unable to make the catch. Rolling over and over is Gordon Banks. McKeever was the man back there with Banks. And it is 3rd down and long.
Another automatic as they were going to that double zone on the outside, covering both wide receivers. Bassano tried to lay it in the crack between the safety and the corner, put it up just a little high and wide so that Banks couldn't quite get to it. Got a hand on it, couldn't grab it.
There's another game being played tonight in the USFL. Memphis at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has clinched a spot in the playoffs, and Memphis is surprising a lot of folks near the 500 mark. We'll see Memphis next Saturday night against Birmingham, which demolished them down in Birmingham. Here's Bassano on 3rd down, 17, puts it up for Brian Williams. Excuse me, that's Mark Lewis. There must have been a mistake there, because Williams was going in right into the same area where Mark Lewis was.
Well, what happened is Brian Williams from the right side, he was going straight upfield, and then with the back out of the backfield, or with Lewis coming out of the backfield, they both got in the same general vicinity. But Brian Williams was kind of what happens with the receiver, and when they look back at a football, they tend to drift to the inside. That brought him too close relationship-wise.
I didn't know for whom the ball was intended. I thought for Williams, and I saw Lewis there. In any event, in comes Stan Talley to kick the ball away into the wind. He came from his own 36. Line drives this one. Broughton backs up inside the 10. Oh, down near the 5, and unless he gets some running room, he's not going to get. Whoops, down he goes at about the 16. And it's a wonder he got back that far, because excellent coverage, and Carl Sullivan, a defensive, Houston by winning tomorrow could clinch the division, but Michigan will still have a chance to get to the playoffs. First down and 10 from their own 16, trailing by a point. Albert Bentley being shut down in a hurry by Dave Browning. Was at quite a ball game at that right defensive end spot. Number 73. A gain of perhaps 2 yards. Call it 2nd. Well, 1 yard. 2nd and 9 from the 17.
Browning doing a good job against Tony Osmond, the offensive left tackle. That time he just played off him perfectly in order to make the tackle.
You know, Jacksonville last week was held under 100 yards by Oakland rushing. And that's the 3rd time in 4 weeks Oakland has done that, and they may do that tonight. Well, I should say this afternoon. Holding Michigan to over 100 yards. And now trying to get outside is Bentley, and there's Marcus Quinn pursuing him and gets a little help over there. And Bentley with a good run may have picked up the 1st down.
Boy, that's a lot different, as you mentioned, holding Michigan to under 100 yards when a year ago they had probably one of the 3 best running attacks in football, along with Philadelphia and Birmingham.
Well, remember last year from left to right, they had Chris Godfrey at tackle, McGriff at guard, Radloff at center, Penny at guard, and Dornbrook at tackle. Well, Godfrey's out of this game. Dornbrook's been out all year. Penny's been shifted from guard to tackle. Osmond from right tackle back up to left tackle starting. This one's having its problems. Also top receiver, top defensive back. Bentley checked that. That's Lenny Patrick, and Patrick is wrestled. When you're only 5'7", you got to get down low to get that man. Otherwise, you're right over the top of his head. Patrick out of Alabama gets the ball across the 30-yard line. Taylor gets the ball, and Broughton had either been knocked down or fell down coming out of with Taylor. Gets the ball downfield, and is picked off. Marcus Quinn has number 12. He laterals the ball back to Derek Martin. Martin's across the 40-yard line. Martin's inside the 35. And a man is down and hurt and it looks like it might be Tim Moore. We'll wait and see.
Two
Either
players.
Moore or Thomas Carter.
Two players are down, but what a play by Quinn. Huh. From the strong safety spot, that's what Chuck Hutchinson said. His speed isn't necessarily the greatest in the world, but he plays the ball so extremely well. You'll see him step right back. Whit Taylor never ever saw him. Look at Quinn come in there. Former receiver. Great hand. Now, watch the alertness. Good move there. Cuts back. Whoops. Lateral out to Hart. Now Hart takes it. Cuts back the other way. Great run. Hartman, I should say. I guess I called him Hart. Or Martin. I tell you one thing. Look, get him right here, Derek Martin.
Well, it was a
good
great
job of running on Derek Martin's part, and great alertness.
Marcus Quinn, everybody's hugging him, and Derek Martin. We've got one of the men up. Browning is up, and I think that Tim Moore is the other man who is down. Their nose tackle was the anchor of that line. So we got the interception to tie the all-time USFL record, but time is up. Give you what we can find out about more in a moment. Newton carried the ball down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 2 out of the 2nd down and 8. We will check with the Invaders, and when they know, they will tell us what has happened. But Browning, the other man hurt on the same play, the interception and the lateral, is up and is okay along the sidelines.
Well, the Invaders coming into this football game was plus 12 on the takeaway giveaway ratio, while Michigan was a minus 8. But right there, a big turnover for the Invaders.
2nd down. Luther Bradley has the record of 12, now shared by Marcus Quinn. That was last year. Eric Jordan. Jordan, look out. Jordan almost the first down, and may have the first down. Inside the 25 goes Eric Jordan with Moriarty hanging on, along with Ron Osborne, the two safeties.
Excellent running off the left side, right side of your screen. You see the lead block out in front by Tom Newton, going over Randy Vandeveer and Jim Leonard, the offensive left guard. But good picking of his way through there. Wasn't much daylight, but Williams, the tight end, 81, blocking right there. We talked about his blocking ability. He kind of gets shoved off, but they move him to the outside enough. Stays after it.
First down. Newton, tough couple of yards to about the 19-yard line. 5:40 to go and counting, 3rd quarter. 7-6 Oakland. The Quinn interception gave them the ball at the 32. Now they've got it 2nd down and about 9 at the 19.
You know, that was an excellent interception by Quinn, too, the way he went up in the air for that football.
Taylor, it's his first interception. Witt has not thrown all that much, but nevertheless, he could be almost forgiven for that because Quinn did make an outstanding play. But I don't think anybody will ever forgive any quarterback for an interception.
Never. You're right there. He feels like a kicker that missed one when he throws one to the other club.
2nd down and 9. Santa across the middle and cannot quite get his man. And you can see that's Mark Lewis. It is 3rd down and 9. The win would be in the face of Kevin Shea, who missed a 22-yard field goal in the 2nd quarter with the wind at his back.
Well, they went to Mark Lewis on the quick post there. Slant move to Basana. Quinn, who just tied the record, sitting there taking a little breather, and he's saying, fellas, let's capitalize on this one. Let's get another 6 points on the scoreboard.
Tim Moore is testing that left knee or ankle along the sidelines with help. 3rd and 9. Basana over the middle, and Newton's got the ball near the first down with Will Coakley on top of him. And this may bring up a decision whether to try for the first down if it is not, or go ahead and kick the field goal. And you know what the fans want. They want Shea to stay on the sidelines, and Shea is still on the sidelines.
Yes, he is. I think I would be tempted. Either that or right now, Chuck Hutchinson, the head coach, he may go for that fake field goal move.
He's walking down, Don, to see when they bring the sticks out exactly how far it is.
Sure. Good move. Gives you time to think about it. Make them measure it so that you get a chance to say, well, you know, what do we want to do here?
Look at that. That's not much, is it?
No, I'd go for it. Newton's been running hard in there.
Yeah, that's what Chuck Hutchinson is saying. Go for it.
Well, Newton, he's no stranger to catching the football. He has some 24-5 passes coming into this football game.
They bring in a second tight end, Lewis Gilbert. They bring in a man to do some blocking, Ted Terosian. And you would think that Newton would get the ball as powerful and as big as he is at 230 pounds, but you never know. Fourth down, and you saw how much to go. 7-6 Oakland, looking for first down. They got to nudge the ball to about the 11 to get it. I think Jordan behind. They're going to give it to Jordan with Newton throwing a great block, and Jordan getting the first down. Newton threw the block, and Jordan's speed got him outside for the first down.
Boy, did his speed get him outside. They shifted at the last moment, putting Jordan in the fullback spot. Number 20, you see him, just a little pitch that way. There's the block out in front of it by Terosian. And now as he turns the corner, he just accelerates there. 23 coming across is Ron Osborne, the free safety. He goes over the top of him. And then the cleanup shot to take him out of bounds. Tom Moriarty, the strong safety. But beyond that, no matter how much help, they're at the 7-yard line and threatening.
First and goal to go. They leave Terosian in there. This is practically the same lineup as they had before. Here's Bassano rolling out. It's a bootleg all the way. And he's down close for the touchdown and has it. Bassano with his third touchdown run of the year. 7 yards. And it's 13-6.
Good move by Bassano. You see the fake trap inside action. Bassano has the option here of running or throwing the football. 53, Mike Edwards, the linebacker. He's too far inside. Here comes 50, Ray Bentley. He's going to dive for him. Look at Bassano reach out with the football. He breaks the plane. He gets to the goal line. 6 points. Watch him dive here. That's alert play on his part. Just to outstretch those hands, despite the fact that he fumbled it, he got it into the promised land.
And now Shea to add the extra point. Bassano to hold. 4:70 to go, third quarter. This drive set up by the interception by Marcus Quinn, and now he has missed the extra point. We told you that Shea has not been consistent at all, and now you know why the fans who know that wanted him staying on the sidelines on fourth down. It's 13-6. And peppered this team ready for the Birmingham Stallions, who are coming to town. And Don and I'll be in Memphis next Saturday night, the land of catfish. 8 o'clock Eastern time is the game. There goes Tim Moore, and that left knee or ankle.
They said he had a bruised knee, Jim.
Bruised knee?
Yes.
Well, that's a lot better than a lot of things that could have happened.
Really?
Ball is into the end zone, taken by Bentley. And will come out to the 20-yard line, where it is 1st and 10. 32 yards, remember, set up by Marcus Quinn's 12th interception of the year, the lateral to Derek Martin, who took it down to the 32-yard line, and then the 7-yard run by Bassano. And we understand that Browning may have a neck injury. Remember, we told you that Dave Browning got off. Let's take a look and see if number 73 is out there. He is out there, so if he's got a neck injury, he says, I'm okay. He has had an outstanding game. And Chris Lennon is filling in for Tim Moore, number 70, second-year man out of Washington. Straight ahead. They're giving the ball. Got the 4-man rush. The blitz is on, and the ball is caught. First down. Fine play across the middle. Went down, and they're still trying to restrain Kenny Daniel, a defensive back, and let's see who draws the penalty.
Well, Derek Batiste was the first man to tip that ball in the air. Thought he had it, but an alert Duncan got the deflection. It's the old tip drill move. They start that at the beginning of the year. You'll watch it from the right side of your screen as Whit Taylor turns and fires. You'll see the ball tipped in the air. The first man was Batiste. The second man, Duncan, had got it. Now Duncan just runs to the ground right there as he gets a little tumbled up in the that infield dirt.
Well, you can see what happened as you take a look here.
There's the initial tip. There's the grab by Duncan. He had a lot more running room available to him, but obviously needs to work on his rope drill a little bit, get those feet up.
Don, typical thing. Personal foul against Michigan, personal foul against Oakland, offsetting penalties of flags mean nothing. First down at the 16-yard line. And a second interception of Taylor, had not been intercepted before this year, may put this game well in the hands of Oakland, but they've got to score. They're only up by 7 at the moment, but they got a first down at the 16. And there's Jordan, and Jordan doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. 17-yard line, second down and 12. Here comes Jordan, and he can't do it. Cannot do it. Good play there by John Banaszak. And now that will end the third quarter. Third quarter ends 13-6 Oakland, and it'll be third down and long when we come back for Oakland, but they're in striking distance. And 17. And Lewis goes wide to the right, and Banks comes to the left. The ball on the 23-yard line. Pisana puts it up, battle for it, and in the end zone. It is not intercepted there by Oliver Davis, intended for Gordon Banks. And there was a little pushing as they crossed that line of the goal line there, and nothing is called. No harm, no foul, fourth down.
Well, a lucky throw as far as Pisana is concerned, because that ball was definitely short. Oliver Davis had that ball intercepted, would have avoided Shea going for the attempted field goal, but with the percentage ratio he's had here this afternoon and for the season, Jim, I might entertain the fake right now.
Well, I tell you, let's look at it this way. It'd be a 41-yard field goal past the 40-yard line. He is 0 for 3 this year. Just about 40 even for Shea. And he's going to try to see if he can get one, and that looks like it's hopelessly off to the right. And he has missed again. He's missed an extra point, and he has missed a 22-yard field goal, and now a 40-yard field goal, and that interception goes for naught. It's still 13-6. Seems to have hit Oakland. How seriously, we don't know. Derek Martin's out with a shoulder separation. Daryl Hart's filling in for him. Tim Moore's out with a badly bruised knee, and Chris Lennon is filling in for him. And first down, the ball at the 22-yard line. And you can see that even though Hebert was warming up, Whit Taylor remains the quarterback. Taylor puts it up deep, and there's that man, Holloway, and see you later, Derek Holloway, with a 77-yard touchdown catch. He had one earlier this year of 80 yards. And right now it's tied.
Well, Whit Taylor, who was a hero a week ago, threw for 2 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, won it in overtime, roll draw action, streaked down the sidelines by Holloway. Taylor let it go, everything he had. Nice throw, up over the top. Frank Duncan, who was trying to get over there, little late. He had about a 10 to 15-yard gap between them. It has an easy 6 points. Michigan right back in the ball game, thanks to Shea's missed field goal a few moments ago.
Thanks to 2 of them plus an extra point. That's 7 points that he has missed.
Really? How can you miss them off of a tee that regular and the wind behind you?
And now to make it 13 apiece if they can. It is Bojovic, who now has 43 in a row, extending back to last year. There's a little difference there. We've got a tie ball game, 14:22 to go here in Oakland, as Holloway makes the 77-yard touch last year. Join us this Thursday and Friday at 2:30 Eastern Time, 11:30 here on the Pacific Coast for the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Open. Bojovic to kick the ball off in this tie ball game. Mark Lewis, the man who is deep, and he's going to bring it out of the end zone across the 10. We've seen he's got some speed. That's a good move there. And Lewis, why not take the gamble? He gets to about the 18-yard line, only missing by 2 yards if he'd stayed there and had a chance perhaps to go all the way. Pisana coming out now with his groups, and for the first time today we have a tie ball game. I would imagine, well, let's not project, but if it ever came down to perhaps Shea having to decide this game, it'd take an awful lot of intestinal fortitude for Hutchinson to say go ahead, and maybe he would go for some kind of fake, but maybe that situation will never happen. We've got a lot of time to play, just about 14 minutes left in the game. Jordan does not have the ball. Pisana does. Newton out of the backfield. has it, and it's close to a first down across the 25-yard line. Dragged down there by number 50, Ray Bentley, an inside linebacker whose responsibility Newton was.
Well, that's the same play that Tampa Bay always runs so effectively down there. Fake out of the eye, the up back drifts through. Bentley dropping back in pass protection after he's held initially by the play action, but now he's starting to close on Newton. Makes a good tackle. Newton trying to stiff arm there, but Bentley going in low makes the sure grab.
Second down, 2 to go, and that is Jordan trying to get the first down, and he's got it and plenty more. Plenty more. Osborne was a man down around his ankles. He got some help from the guys up top, but it's a first down across the 35 to the 38. But Kevin Moriarty came over to help out after Osborne got him around the ankles.
You know, the two things that Jordan has, not only the acceleration when he has a good hole, but on a number of occasions here this afternoon, it's been sticky in there. And he's picked his way and kind of side-slipped people. And then that time, with second effort at the end, got about another 3 or 4 yards. Hard, good running.
I'll lay something on you, Donald, in just a moment after this play. First down from a 38-yard line, shifting to the eye. There's Basana, and there's Newton, and Newton's got another 9 yards before he's put down. Michigan through 3 quarters, running the football, 38 net yards.
Wow, I wouldn't believe
38
that.
net yards.
Huh. I wouldn't have believed it if you hadn't told me, but I know
of course,
that
a
you got
lot
it
of that
together.
is when Taylor gets thrown for those long situations, but that's how they compute anything in net yardage. Taylor technically a ball carrier. Second down, a yard to go.
And again, the same play that they had used on first down a couple plays back to Tom Newton. Little fake out of the eye, underneath, front of the linebackers.
And barreling ahead is Newton, and he's got the first down. Just about at midfield. Carlton Rose made the stop.
You know, one of the things the Invaders are doing in this particular drive, the passes they've thrown have been essentially controlled patterns. The little short stuff where Basana can get rid of it in a hurry, keep the pass rush off of him, or if he doesn't have anything there, he can throw it away. He's completed a couple. They've mixed it up with the ground game. They're using up the clock, moving the ball very, very well.
Carlton Rose made the tackle. Will repeat, filling in for John Corker, who's out with a bad knee and hand. Ball at midfield, first down. And there is a fake, and then Banks can't hold on to the football. Fake to Jordan going into the line, threw the ball out, and I think Gordon is kind of happy he didn't hold on to the football because they were coming up and leveling him. And it's second down and 10 from midfield.
Well, he took a peek. He saw Jim Leonard, the guard, and Randy Vanderveer, the offensive left tackle, on that left side coming out. They got to get kick-out blocks, and in most cases, he's going to try and break in behind him. But he saw him closing from the side there with the cornerback, took his eye off it just a moment, and instead of getting 3 or 4, maybe even more, strictly incomplete.
Invaders playing their last home game, trying to do what they did last year, win 5 consecutive at home. Good crowd. Great afternoon. There's Basana, and that is Lewis looking to throw. Lewis, former quarterback, dumps the ball, has Brian Williams gain inside the 45-yard line, third down and about 3 to go. But they wanted something more than that out of that play, because that's showing them your trick, and you only picked up about 6 yards.
Well, that trick, we mentioned they set it up earlier in the football game, and Lewis, a former quarterback, wanted to go upfield to Banks, but he got pressure by Ray Bentley. That was 50 in your corner there for just a moment. He had to run. Good adjustment on his part, though, to find Brian Williams, the tight end, and dump it off. Williams, a good job of hanging on as he takes a shot from strong safety Tom Moriarty.
Third down and 4. Basana, oh my, sacked again from the 44-yard line all the way back to his own 45-yard line.
Good coverage in the secondary as far as Michigan was concerned. Basana, he was looking for Brian Williams, the tight end, who had kind of hooked up in the zone to the outside, was trying to uncover, but good movement in that secondary by the linebackers. Didn't give Basana any vision, held on, got dropped.
Speaking of vision, Walter Broughton's going to have to look right into the sun to get this punt of Stan Tally's.
And he's made a couple bad decisions fielding some too, Jim, here.
Ali gets it off. Oh, high kick. Broughton doesn't want anything to do with this because that should. Nope, it's come back the other way. And it's going to be stopped inside the 10-yard line. They'll bring it out to about the 12 because that's where they first touched it. But again, Michigan in this tie ball game has terrible field position inside their 15. It is 13-all. Their great guard would be able to go on that Achilles injury today. But he is in there and has played the entire game. First down, Michigan inside their 15 at the 12. Tie ball game, 9:20 left. Fake to Bentley. Taylor throws the ball out, and Cobb. Well, first of all, there was a linebacker, Plummer, who had a shot at it, and then Cobb, and then nobody. Second down and 10.
Well, Gary Plummer, usually the weak side linebacker, top of your screen, 51. He steps up inside. Roll draw fake. Whit Taylor rolls out. You see 89 breaking behind him. That's Mike Cobb, the tight end. But now look Plummer go up in the air. Tips it just a little piece of it. Former nose tackle from California. Not used to handling that ball that much. Now playing a linebacker, but goes for an incompletion.
Second down. (13-all). Broughton in motion both ways. Taylor looks over to that side, and oh, Quinn almost had a chance at number 13 as it went off the hands of Walter Broughton, and Marcus just couldn't catch up to the ball. It's third down.
There was Whit Taylor throwing that ball again just a little too hard. He had so much velocity on it that Broughton couldn't hang on to it, and had that ball popped in the air just a little more, Marcus Quinn was very, very close to making that interception. But good defense right here, Jim. Third and long. They get the ball back. If they hold them this time, they'll be at roughly midfield.
Remember, Darrell Hart is filling in for Derek Martin, who has a separated shoulder, a rookie at Lane College. They may try to pick on him. He's playing the left cornerback spot. But Whit Taylor's looking over to the right side, and Duncan just simply levels Broughton as he tried to get to the ball. And it's fourth down.
Well, the defense is held, and certainly Oakland's going to get that ball in excellent field position as they're going to be kicking into the wind. That is, Michigan will be. Good play that time. Duncan had Broughton zeroed in all the way. Kind of a bad choice on Whit Taylor's part. He wouldn't have gotten the first down had the ball been complete. Should have gone upfield with it.
From the end zone, fourth down. Johnston kicks the ball away. Oh, he got a good one. Got a good one. The flag is down at the 40-yard line where Mark Lewis is trying to get back, but a flag was thrown as the ball was coming upfield. So we'll hold everything.
And a fight going on.
Hold everything. Both teams have to win, especially Oakland, to stay in the possibility for a playoff.
Would you say tempers are getting a little short?
They say tempers are flaring. That's the line you use. Let's see if we're going to have the old double personal foul again. Dave Kamansky's out there, but this time he is talking.
Well, these fans are certainly fired up. They like the players. They're getting after it.
Kamansky still in the conversation out there. The flag was thrown while the ball was in the air. Then there was a battle after Lewis fielded the ball and got back to about the 41-yard line.
And it was thrown back by Lewis. That's the thing I don't understand, what that decision was when there was no one in the area.
We'll find out.
Delay against the defense, 12 men on the field. The penalties declined. First down.
That's it. Okay, 12 men were on the field, and here comes Basana, 15 of 27 for 145 yards. He's been intercepted once, and he threw a 12-yard touchdown pass to Brian Williams. 8:55 to go. It's tied at 13. Stadium to play the Pittsburgh Maulers, and Paul McGuire and I will be there. First down, as they refused the 12 men on the field penalty. That's why the flag was thrown around Mark Lewis when nobody was in the vicinity. Just had 12 men on the field. Ball on the 43-yard line of Oakland. 8:55 to go. Tied at 13. First man through. And that is Tom Newton. And Newton Gets across the 45 to about the 47. Crowded day, disappointing. They expected better than 30. After all, when you win 6 in a row and your last 4 in a row at home, they expected better than 30,000. They've less than 24,000. 23,918. It might be this gorgeous weather that has kept them away instead of brought them here.
I think you're right.
I want to tell you, this is a weekend. You ever do anything at all outside, this is a weekend. Second down and about 7 to go. Pisano. Oh, he's got time, and he's got a man open. Drilled it right in between 3 men to hit Gordon Banks. First down inside the 45-yard line. Oliver Davis put him down.
Well thrown by Pisano as he drops back. He'll look out to the right. In the meantime, Banks taking it straight upfield, runs a hook, turn-in type of move, slides into the open. Oliver Davis, the corner, a little far off, but closes very quickly on it as Banks had to stand there, but a great adjustment on the part of Pisano to drill it in and get a very, very crucial first down.
We're just about halfway through the final quarter in this tie game. Mark the ball at the 41. And Newton with the ball straight up the middle, picks up 7 or 8 yards inside the 35-yard line. Remember, if Michigan should lose, Chicago, should they lose to Houston tomorrow, would put the Gamblers not only at the top of the heap in a playoff spot, but they're division winners. But if Michigan should lose, Michigan still can get in the playoffs if they win their last 2 games.
Well, they ran a short side slant. Once again, Newton, as he's done on several occasions today, just broke it back up the middle when the defense overran it.
9 carries for Tom for 58 yards. And there's Newton again, and Newton's got the first down inside the 30-yard line. And to continue the playoff picture, if Oakland should lose the ball game, there is no way they can make the playoffs. They would drop to 6-10, and that's just not good enough. Even now, should they win, their chances of making it are simply problematical, not necessarily probable.
Pisano trying to get the play from the sidelines as it's being signaled to him by Tom Ramsey, the backup quarterback. But once again, Newton hit that left side. Different look, nothing fancy. Good blocking up front, particularly by the center, Roger Lavasa.
6.5 minutes left. First down. They want 7 here. There's Jordan. Jordan's not going to go anywhere. Don't even know if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he lost about a yard. Hanging on to him was Robert Pennywell, number 59, and Ray Bentley, number 50. The Bobbsey twins are those interior linebackers. They are good ones. Bentley won all USFL honors last year.
And they are good ones. And most inside linebackers are the people that are going to make the majority of your tackles. The linemen are going to try and keep those blockers off of them. Both of them take excellent angles, good pursuit to get to the play. That time, dropped them for about a yard loss. 2nd and
11, 5:45 left in this tie game. Pisano running, stopping, throwing, has Jordan. Jordan's down to the 20. 3rd down and 3 to go from the 20-yard line. Jordan has carried 16 times for 51 yards. Balanced attack. Newton with 58 before his last run. Jordan with 51. They've hit Williams. They've hit Lewis. They've hit Banks. And there's Kevin Shea, who has missed 2 field goals and an extra point and may be called on to break this tie. Depending upon on 3rd and 3, what will happen? Should they lose a lot of yardage? Should they almost get the first down? Or if they get the first down, then of course it's academic. They'll go on to the next series. And off, and look at the hole for Newton. Look at the hole for Newton. Touchdown, Newton. 3rd and 3 from the 20-yard line, and Tom Newton goes right up the middle and scores his 5th touchdown of the year running the football. Breaks the tie with 4:50 to go.
Well, they went 3 plays to that left side over Jim Leonard, the left guard, and Randy Vanderveer, Roger Lavasa at center. They did a great job, and that time Tom Newton, for the 4th straight week in a row, has scored a touchdown rushing. This could have been the biggest of them as it puts them ahead. Great hard running by Tom Newton. They found a soft spot over there as they pounded it regularly.
Kevin Shea's got to be slightly paranoid at the moment. He's not had a good day at all, and kicks this ball up and has it and gets an ovation from the crowd. 4:50 to go, and it is 20-13.
In the clear, Tom Newton just running through, but watch him dive for the end zone. He feels those hands on him. He knows he's going down, but look at him reach out, just like Basana did earlier. Get the ball across the goal line. He did.
Oakland leads, and we'll come back. Now Bentley and Futrell, and Michigan has 4:50 to go to tie up or win this ball game. Bad kick here, but tough for Futrell, who finally tacks it down at the 16. He'll be across the 20 and out across the 30-yard line, and Michigan will have much better field position than what it has normally had throughout this ball game. With Taylor and company coming out onto the field, Bobby Hebert has been warming up, but that has been kind of a wishful thinking.
And lest we forget, it wasn't too long ago that Whit Taylor hummed a 77-yarder to Derek Holloway, and they can score quickly. Holloway, you know, was overshadowed essentially by Anthony Carter after last year and early part of this year before Carter got hurt. But there are a lot of people in the league that feel that Holloway is as fine a receiver as you can get.
He's got 8 touchdown catches, and he is nearing the 60 mark in total receptions. First down from a 35. A lot of time left. 2-point conversion in USFL play. Taylor back. Taylor throws it up, and it is not caught. Just by the man we're talking about. Derek Holloway went high in the air, all 5 feet 7 inches of him. And when he got up there, he could not hang on to the football. Second down.
High in the air at 5'7". I wonder how high you can get. Watch him come downfield straight. Now hook to the inside. Now slide. That's Hart, 7. A little too far off. They're into the zone. 58. Coming over there to try and offer a little bit of help is David Shaw, but Holloway doesn't hang on.
Second down and 10. Ball on the 35. They give it to Patrick, and Patrick drives ahead out near the 40-yard line, and that is about all. And again, a little extracurricular activity, as they call it. This time, Tyrone McGriff and Gary Plummer. With no flags thrown, it is third down and 6 to go.
Pretty good offensive surge that time by the offensive line as they moved that defensive unit back, and good hard running in there. But you can well imagine that emotions and temperaments are very, very tight right now, particularly with Michigan trailing after having won it all a year ago.
Oh, not to make excuses because they've got other reasons, but their injuries. I don't know if a team has been hit any harder with their top people than this team. Here's Taylor throwing it, and that's almost intercepted by Derek Batiste. Well, I tell you what, when you're a rookie out of McNeese State and you're playing in there and you get a shot like that, it's just too good to be true. And that's not to be for his first interception of his pro career.
Well, you couldn't be in better position. Whit Taylor extremely fortunate here. This could have been his 3rd interception. Watch Batiste right there. I mean, there's no reason to drop that football. He did, however,
Don,
deflect one earlier.
That's right. But you know, as we watched Skip Johnson come in, that was the, if Taylor had been intercepted there, that would have been his biggest mistake on all interceptions. The others were pretty good plays.
He tried to throw it through him.
Oh, look at Johnson. He's got to pick it up and try to punt. Now he's going to cover it. First down, Oakland at the 14-yard line. And again, David Greenwood is not in there. Johnson is the 5th punter, cut earlier this year by Birmingham. The ball was a little high, but he simply did not hold on to it.
Well, they also have a different center. As the ball is a little high, John Corker is normally the center. He is out, the premier linebacker. He snaps. This time, as the ball is high, look at it go up high. Still should have been fielded.
Oh, he had it in his hands, Don.
Oh, definitely. Should have been caught.
Oh, my. Things are looking bleak for Michigan and good for leading by 7. They give it to Newton up the middle again, and he's got 6 inside the 10.
And he felt he should have had it all in one sweep, because as he went down, he saw nothing but daylight to go at that end zone. Again, hitting the left side of the offensive line. You see firing out there, that's 63, Jim Leonard. Cut back by Newton to the inside. Lavasa, the center, gets a good seal off the right side, and up the middle goes Newton.
2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Asana, they're giving it to Jordan. Jordan is being bumped and gets not back to the 10-yard line. And it'll be third down. And here a field goal could almost seal the fate. But the question is, how well will Shea do? He is a little shaky. And of course the Invaders would rather have the full 7. They'd also like to let this 21 seconds go off the clock here right down to the 2-minute mark. Time is all in the favor. Bassano's already started off the side of the field now, so they'll let this clock run down another 10 seconds to get to the 2-minute mark. Now
Michigan
called timeout. When Michigan saw it happening, it took them about 10 seconds, but they finally called it with 8 seconds before the 2-minute mark. That clock about 18 to 20 before suddenly they realize if Bassano's walking off the field, they lose another 8 seconds, so they used up one of their timeouts.
Not very alert play on their part. They should have taken it immediately after that play, particularly when Jordan was dropped for a loss, because they had excellent pursuit over there. You got to hop right up and get that timeout signal to the official.
I'll ask you the same question as bears along the sidelines that Don Heinrich asked me. On 3rd down and 7 to go in this situation, conservative or put it up in the air? You can put it up and out of the end zone. It would not be intercepted if you're in trouble. And look at this. He tried to roll out as he did for a 7-yard touchdown. And right there was Carlton Rose filling in for Corker. And now here comes Kevin Shea out on the field. If he makes it, he's a hero.
Well, it's a bootleg action, everybody going, but Rose on a blitz is coming with it. He just adjusted. That's something that Corker did all the time for him when he was in that spot. Rose making that pursuit move drops him for that loss, and as you indicated, once again, Shea is on the spot.
You should have seen all of his teammates come over and pat him on the rump as he came out there saying, "You can do it." Actually, between 30 and 40 yards, he's rather good. 5 of 7. Today he's missed 2 field goals and has missed an extra point. If he gets it, it would be 23-13, and with less than 2 minutes to go at that time, Oakland would be in good shape to win its 7th in a row. If he misses it, well, almost 2 minutes for Michigan to move the ball down and either go for the tie or for the win should they score.
Well, if he misses it, he might get a road map and an apple with a couple games left in the season.
If he misses, he would have missed 10-point possibilities.
Really? I mean,
but that's what's facing him. Bassano walking back. Funny thing, because in our conversation with Chuck Hutchinson yesterday, Don and I talked at great length about the fake field goal or going for the 2. And
you know, Jim.
Here he is.
You mentioned earlier about the fact that Chuck Hutchinson should make that decision before he goes into the football game. He hadn't made it at that point yesterday afternoon when we talked with him. I don't know. You know, maybe he's still thinking about it.
I didn't make it. It was Woody Hayes' old coach was out here made it. All right, 36-yard try apparently for Shea. And the way they're lined up, I would assume he's going to kick. He is going to kick. 36 yards out. Did he get it? No, he did not get it. 1:55 to go. He has now missed 3 field goals and an extra point for a total of 10 points. And with 1:55 to go, Michigan has a chance to go the length of the field. And if they score, then it'll be up to Jim Stanley to figure out if they score. One of those things you figure out ahead of time. You go for the win, you go for the tie. Well, that's still something for Whit Taylor and company to do, because the Invaders have been playing outstanding defensive football. And we'll get the statistics for you in a moment on how much Michigan has picked up rushing so far today. Well under 100 yards at last look.
Pressure on Whit Taylor right now.
Taylor to throw, looking, and there's Lenny Patrick, and Patrick's got a first down. Quinn finally puts him down across the 40. They pick up 21 yards right there with 1:46 to go.
And Patrick with just a circle out of the backfield. The linebackers got too deep. They're playing that prevent defense. You got to line up and play them tough. A lot of times that prevent defense will get burned, and they did right there.
Here's Taylor again. Drills the ball. Patrick again for about 4 yards to the 45. Time is called. 1 minute 32 seconds to go. The ball at the 45-yard line. 2nd down and about 6. And the score is 20-13 Oakland.
And you mentioned the timeout that they took just before the 2-minute warning on defense, where they let that clock run down. It was almost a wasted timeout at that stage, and could prove a significant factor right here.
They've only got 1 timeout left now. And they are about 55 yards away from a score.
Well, Whit Taylor moving around in that pocket, but it would seem, even though he has gone underneath, trying to just dump it off to Lynn Patrick, let him run a little bit, that Derek Holloway, with his kind of speed, is their home run guy, and they normally, Michigan likes to run a lot of crossing patterns, and you get a zone defense like the Invaders are playing at the moment. You get to hit those same void areas in that zone, and if you could get the ball to Holloway with his speed and quickness, he's the one guy that could really explode for him.
You know, when you intercept a man, as they have Taylor twice, and you hold their total rushing game to the moment to 42 yards. 42 yards Michigan has gained. Should Oakland lose this ball game, oh,
be a real morale problem next week.
They'll never get over it. There's Allen in motion. 20-13 to score. 1:32 to go. Second down, 6. Taylor back to throw. Taylor gets the ball out. It's off the hands of the intended receiver. That's Derek Holloway at the 45-yard line.
Taylor did a good job of just getting that football off that time. He was under heavy pressure. Len Thomas comes in to make a great shot on him. He'll run that hook under the inside. Look at him change his speed up there. Little change of pace. Now watch from the right side. In comes Len Thomas, and I want to tell you, right here, zap. That smarts.
Taylor 13 for 30, 243 yards, 2 interceptions, and 1 77-yard touchdown pass. Here's Taylor again trying to get out. They got a flag down as the ball is thrown out and everybody stops playing. He was in the grass. That's why they stopped playing. But there's also a flag on the play, and holding apparently is going to be called against Michigan. But I would assume here, Don, why take the hold when you were in the grass and you thrown him from the 45 back to the 38?
I would say they would use up the down because it would then
Be
bring up fourth
sure.
down. And certainly Michigan's going to have to try and go for it. They have nothing to lose at this point. Jim Stanley, who has battled his way through innumerable injuries this season, says, well, it's all on the line. We might as well take our turn.
Offense, holding number 74. The penalties refused.
That's on Ray Penny. It's fourth down they got to go for. We keep talking about the Michigan injuries, and that is true. But don't forget, Oakland lost its first 9 in a row and are a minute and 18 seconds away from winning their 7th in a row.
And you talk about a costly penalty at this stage of the game. Penny, who had played for some of those great Pittsburgh Steeler teams before coming over here a year ago, he hurt him right there.
Well, not really, Don, because they refused the penalty. They were in the grasp of, but either way they were in trouble. And now there goes the last timeout. There goes the last timeout. Taylor came up to the line of scrimmage, took a look, and called timeout with 1:18 to go. And I'm sure that the happiest people in the world are the Oakland Invaders and their coaching staff that he took that last time out there, because he is better than 60 yards away from scoring, and he'll have to do it all, if he is to do it at all, with no timeouts left for him.
I'm sure you're absolutely right. That defensive squad, knowing that the time would be in their favor, even if Whit Taylor were fortunate enough to pick.
Fourth down and 13 to go. May be their last gasp unless Taylor can pull it off here. Taylor goes deep and running side for side, and Holloway says, I want a flag. There is none. The ball belongs to Oakland. Their playoff hopes will stay alive barring a turnover. Michigan can still make the playoffs if they win their last 2 games. And when you say that, you look at their last 2 games. They get Oakland a week from Monday night and then Chicago on the final game of the season. So it is very likely that Michigan can make the playoffs, but they may not win this game.
Well, Whit Taylor, a change of pace again, started like a little bit of a post move, tried to split the gap there, the seam between the zone. Running with him 18 is Lynn Thomas, but really Whit Taylor went for all.
The 2-minute mark, and one when Taylor did not know what to do on the final down, so this will run off 30 seconds. Conversely, as we said, Oakland will have won its 7th in a row, being 7-9. And Michigan will have lost 8 of its last 10 ball games. And Chuck Hutchinson You know, he's to be replaced at the end of this season, but somebody out there, if he doesn't stay with a good job in this organization, is going to look at what this man has done. The former Ohio State All-American as an offensive tackle, played with the Cleveland Browns and the St. Louis Cardinals. He's got this team hitting hard, but Charlie Sumner will take over next year. And now we've got one man playing center field in case there is a fumble to catch the man who might pick it up. And they'll put the knee down one more time. And we're down to the 32nd mark now and counting. And there may not be another play. Chuck Hutchinson doesn't think so. They're coming on. So it is a win by the score of 20-13 with Tom Newton scoring the winning touchdown on a 20-yard run. And look at Hutchinson run across the field to shake the hand of Jim Stanley, whose team has fallen on hard times since they won their first 6 in a row. And Michigan is now 8-8, still in it. But Oakland is 7-9, despite the fact their kicker couldn't come up with 10 extra points. It would have been a runaway.
It really would have. Jim Stanley's had his problems. What a fine coach he is. Tough loss to make here this afternoon. Great win for the Oakland Invaders and Chuck Hutchinson.
Okay, I'm Jim Simpson with Don Heinrich. Oakland wins its 7th in a row, 20-13 over Michigan. And goodbye from Oakland, California.
Los Angeles next Friday. While the Michigan Panthers now 8-8 in dire straits. They may not make the playoffs, but they still have a shot. A week from Monday, they'll entertain the Oklahoma Outlaws. The big play that did it on 3rd and 3 from the Michigan 20-yard line with the score tied at 13. Here it goes, tough running fullback Tom Newton. The Panthers were blitzing. The Invaders and Fred Basana and Tom Newton caught him in the blitz, and Newton didn't stop until he made the end zone. So the Oakland Invaders win their 7th game in a row by defeating the Michigan Panthers 20-13. The USFL on ESPN is hosting the San Antonio Gunslingers. Kickoff will be at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, exclusively on ESPN. I'm Tom Mees saying so long from Oakland, California.